Hey, George. George Lucas, yes, you. Please come back. We can't take it anymore. The Acolyte is the last that we could take, and I never thought I would give up on Star Wars, but I'm really considering it. I think I'm there. We need that feeling back that you gave us as kids again. Yes, and we're not going to sit here and act like Star Wars wasn't really made for guys. We need that feeling of being little boys again. Not saying that girls didn't enjoy it, but we need that back. We need that feeling of getting lost in the Star Wars world and universe again and just forgetting everything else that's going on in the outside world, all of our struggles and situations, everything. We used to just leave them at the door and get lost in the Star Wars universe. That doesn't happen anymore. Without an agenda or political message or just straight up bad writing. We need your ideas back. We need you to come back and fix this your property, because if you just decided or even one day said you didn't count all the extra stuff outside of what you created and it didn't count as canon to you, that would even just make us feel so much better. We already know you don't like what they've done with your property. We know you regret selling it. So why don't you just find a way to do something? I know it's probably impossible. I don't know anything about the movie business or movie world, but man, if anything can be done. Because no matter how bad these shows and movies do or how poorly reviewed they are, Kathleen Kennedy is invincible. She can't get fired. If you could just maybe, I know I'm asking for a lot here, maybe disown some of the properties and things they've come out with since you've left, it would just make us Star Wars fans feel so much better. Just imagine if George retconned or say he doesn't claim anything that's happened in the Disney universe. Man, that will create an uproar. I thought about this while editing this video. George, if you can just get your foot back in the door somehow. I know that they said they didn't want you messing around or anything. They didn't really take your ideas into consideration. On a serious level, I think you should consider reaching out to Disney and offering to help create better stories. Because I just know he regrets selling it. Star Wars is burning to the ground right in front of our eyes, and the only thing keeping me sane is telling myself this stuff isn't canon. George didn't make this. The only thing that was okay, was good, it had a good start, was Rey's first movie. I believe it was The Force Awakens. I don't even remember or care to remember. That movie had a great foundation for the next two movies. It could have been ultimately a series that got better as it went on, but because they're so directionless there at Disney, everybody has to pitch in their own ideas. They just drug it to the ground with different directors, different visions. Instead of, remember when we had George as just one vision? Obviously, he got help from lots of other people, but it was still George's vision. I know this is a stretch, but maybe as Star Wars fans, we can all get together and make a petition. See if we can get George's attention to do something. Because all the creators do over at Disney is blame the fans for being homophobic or toxic. And it's just like, we're not even like that. The majority of us, we know there are people out there like that. The majority of us aren't like that. We just want a good story. We don't care about any of the other stuff. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard the director talking about Star Wars is the gayest it's ever been. Like, wow, okay, why is it the goal here? Remember when George was just making Star Wars without all of that, all the intention behind it? Do they even know who their fan base is? We're just a bunch of nerds that care about great storytelling and action scenes. We're just tired of them forcing political messages, pronouns, women, and gay people in our faces all the time. Like, we don't care. Even the video games have been infected. They're greedy and bad. The movies suck balls and have no direction. And now the television shows are just woke. And the people you're trying to please, like even with diversity, I'm black. I don't even care. I didn't think about when I went to the movies to see Star Wars. I didn't think about, are there enough black people in here? There's too many white people. First of all, Star Wars is aliens. And then at the same time, nobody's thinking about that. So when you guys promote it, well, it's diverse and all this other stuff, it just makes it seem disingenuous. If you would have just quietly made Star Wars more diverse, I guess, nobody would even notice or care. And let me emphasize again, the writing is terrible. The Acolyte makes me just want to freaking shoot myself in the head. And the only thing somewhat saving that show is the fighting scenes. Everything else is poo-poo garbage. And if you guys want to go that route, it can be way more subtle. Good movies do it in a subtle way. Or some shows like The Boys do it appropriately because that's the world it's built around. Or at the very least, you could at least write the wokeness into the story in a compelling way. So Disney's just ruining everything they touch, even their other properties. So George, please save us. Please, I hope he sees this video. Oh my goodness.